Cornwall has plenty of harbour towns you could pick from, but Padstow in Cornwall is one of the big ones. A working estuary harbour turned proper holiday hotspot on the Camel Estuary on the north coast opposite Rock. If you're scrolling around looking for things to do in Cornwall and you want somewhere with boats, food, shops, and that we're on holiday feeling, this is an obvious contender. It's worth it if you're happy with a bit of bustle, don't mind paying town centre prices for parking and food, and you like having lots of places to eat and wander. It might not be for you if you hate touristy spots, get stressed in crowds, or you'd rather spend time on a quiet, wild bit of the coast with hardly anyone around. The way this works best is simple. You park up at the Link Road car park at the top of town, wander down onto the harbour and the streets for a couple of hours, then head back up to the car when you're done. It keeps the driving stress low, you're not wrestling the tightest harbour roads, and you've got enough time to actually enjoy the place instead of just marching around with one eye on the ticket machine. You roll into Padstow on the main road and follow the signs up to the Link Road car park by the fire station. It's a big tarmac car park, long stay on the usual pay and display or app setup. Expect standard Cornish tourist town prices, not outrageous, but you'll feel it if you're paying for a few hours in lots of different places over the week. The big win with the Link Road is you're slightly out of the knot of harbour streets, so you're not trying to squeeze into tiny spaces while a line of cars builds up behind you. From the Link Road you walk down into town. It's a steady slope rather than a mountain, enough that you'll notice it on the way back up, but totally manageable for most people. If you've got a buggy, dodgy knees, or someone who doesn't love hills, just allow a little extra time and don't rush it. In 5 to 10 minutes you're off the residential bit and into the older streets, and then suddenly the harbour opens out in front of you, stone quays, fishing boats, the tide creeping in or out, and houses and shops wrapped around the water. Around the harbour is where you'll naturally spend most of your time. The feel these days is firmly holiday town with a working backbone. Fishing boats and trips going on in the background, with shops, pasty places, ice cream, galleries and clothes shops packed into the streets around them. Some of it is lovely independent bits, some of it is standard seaside tack. You'll know which is which as you walk past. Padstow has a proper reputation as a foodie spot, so there's no shortage of spaces to eat. Seafood restaurants, pubs, takeaways and cafes. You do pay for the postcode, but if you fancy treating yourself to a good fish or a nicer sit-down meal with a harbour backdrop, this is one of the better places on this bit of coast to do it. If you don't want a full meal, you can just grab a pasty or some chips and sit on the wall watching the estuary. Toilet-wise, you're in a town, not out on a headland. You've got public loos plus facilities and pubs and cafes. The public ones are typically seaside standard, functional rather than fancy, and on busy days you might find yourself in a little queue, but you're not stuck miles from the nearest toilet. Most of what you're walking on is hard surface or cobbles, so trainers or sandals with a bit of grip will make life easier than flimsy flip-flops if you're doing a proper wander. If you're bringing the dog, Padstow generally works well. Plenty of people bring dogs into town. There are dog-friendly pubs and cafes. And you've got easy access to estuary walks and nearby beaches if you want to give them a good run before or after. Crowds and timings are where Padstow really has two personalities. On a sunny school holiday lunchtime, it's full on. Families, groups, queues for food, a steady flow of people looping the harbour, and a very clear, we're on holiday feel. If you like atmosphere and people watching, you'll enjoy it. If you're already tired from driving, or you're someone who needs a little bit of space to stay sane, it can tip into stressful quite quickly. Come outside that peak window and it's a different story. You still get enough people around the harbour to feel alive, but there's room to stroll, stop for photos and actually choose where you eat without everything feeling like a battle. From roughly November onwards, you're swapping shorts and ice creams for coats and maybe a bit of drizzle, but you gain quieter streets, easier parking and a slower pace. It's a trade-off. High summer gives you warmth and buzz, off-season gives you space and calm. In terms of how long you need, treating Padstow as a half day is about right if you're just doing town in the harbour. A couple of hours gives you time to walk the quay, dip into a few shops, grab a drink or a bite and sit for a bit watching boats, birds and the tide. Safety wise, in town is straightforward. Keep an eye on the kids near the edge of the quay. Don't let them climb where they shouldn't. And watch your footing if it's been raining. Stone and sea air can make for the odd slippery patch. It's still a working harbour in places with ropes, gear and vehicles around. So it's worth remembering it's not a theme park. If you do head off towards beaches or the outer estuary, that's when you start thinking more seriously about tides and the currents. But if you're sticking to the harbour and streets, your main hazards are traffic, crowds, and seagulls trying to nick your pasty. So what's the honest verdict? Padstow is worth it with caveats. If you're happy with a busy, polished harbour town where the main draw is food, atmosphere, and a classic estuary setting, and you don't mind paying for it, it's a strong choice. It suits couples, friends, and families who enjoy pottering around shops, trying out restaurants and soaking up that holiday feel as much as the view itself. If you're on a tight budget, really dislike crowds, or you're mainly chasing wild, quiet coastline with hardly anyone about, you can safely nudge Padstow further down the list and give more of your time to a less showy spot. To do it smarter, don't try to drive right down to the harbour and lap round, getting wound up. Park at Link Road at the top, accept the downhill at the start and the short uphill at the end, and let that take the edge off the whole visit. You could easily build it into a bigger day by tying Padstow in with a stroll or cycle on the Camel Trail, or a quick hop over to Rock for some beach and estuary time. It's not just shops and harbour wall if that's not your thing. Thanks for watching. Until next time, cheers you.